So, like, Mass Effect 1 has this really weird bottom loading problem where it has exactly one fleshed out city area, and you basically explore the whole thing at the very start of the game, and it takes like 10 parts. And I say that because it took me 10 parts to get through it even with editing. We've still got two of these to go, including this one. So I hope you all like walking around. On the plus side, we won't be doing a whole lot of that after this.
What is it, like a funnel, you would say? Like the top of the funnel is the hub in itself, and then once you go down the nozzle, the rest of the game just kind of just plays itself in terms of where you go?
It's more like the only town-like sections after this point are smaller ones that are attached to combat sections, and they don't take nearly as long to explore and get everything out of them that you would be able to get. In fact, most of the other ones you can probably fully explore and talk to everyone and do all their side quests in under an hour. The Citadel is the one big town section, and yes, new side quests will appear in the Citadel throughout the game, but you'll probably wind up getting all of those in one go later anyway, because there's a point toward the end of the game where you have to come back here. So there isn't really a whole lot of reason to spread your Citadel stuff out throughout the game. I mean, you totally
Yeah, it just
can.
makes sense to just come back at one, do it all at once.
The only reason, the only specific thing to come back here periodically for is shopping and Conrad Werner, who, by the way, is one of the things that factors into that meta joke I was talking about at the end of the last part. So, yeah, definitely get him.
Next time you're in the elevator, pay attention to Garrus's armor, because he has a smiley face on the base of his neck.
Wait, what?
It's a smiley face emoticon, seriously.
What, like a tattoo, or...?
No, it's on his armor. It distracts me every time I take an elevator with Garrus, because I'm just looking at the back of his armor, and just at where the neck is, it's a smiley face.
Huh.
We'll have to look at it next time we're in an elevator.
Interesting.
That's all I was looking at while Lewis was talking just now.
I've never noticed that, but now that I think about it, he's the only character in the game with these specific...
Turn around.
Come on, turn around.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
Wait. I don't see it. Oh,
man.
now I see it. Oh.
Oh man, I thought you meant like an actual intentional smiley face, but no, it's just something. It's just an aspect of his armor design that ends up looking like a smiley face.
I know, and I'm always looking at it every time he's in an elevator.
Shoots a bad guy in the face. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
I like how the subtitle for this question is personal question. What personal question? What am I asking? Am I crossing any real boundaries? Oh no, I'm just asking her to tell me about herself. Okay. Sure.
Do you have time for some personal questions?
Anyway, you really do want to get, okay, you don't want to buy any specific thing here that you can't get anywhere else, unless it's a Metagel upgrade. I don't know if you can buy those in that shop. But first aid interfaces, those specific things on your armor, are pretty much, I would call them mandatory, because you can lose health pretty fast, but the only way to heal it without some sort of regen equipment is to use up your Metagel, which is easily replenished, but you don't want to run out in the middle of a firefight. You don't have that Call of Duty regenerating health bar thing going on in this game like you do in the other ones, unless you equip a first aid interface, which very slowly regens your health. So you can hide in cover and restore your health with a first aid interface, but you can't duck behind cover for 2 seconds, restore all your health, and then just go back to playing Desperado with everyone.
You get behind cover, 3 days later, you resume the battle.
Stupid red jam
And
getting
hope the
thrown
guys
in my
behind
eyes.
the other, set of cover is still there to shoot.
So, first aid kit, what's wrong with my soldier today? He's been shot in the knee. What does that mean? He's been shot in the knee.
Don't you guys just love how in World War II, a time where medical technology is not really significantly advanced on the field, you can take several bullets to the liver, walk behind a building, and then shake it off in 10 seconds. It's
You want to know what's
fantastic.
truly hilarious? At least one of the Call of Duty games has a space battle section, and you can actually get shot without dying in a spacesuit.
Yes.
It's is it like bullets or lasers?
Bullets.
Bullets? Ooh, yeah.
I guess it depends. I guess it would depend a bit on how segmented your suit was, but yeah.
One tear through the suit. That's it. It's over.
They look like pretty standard astronaut
Yeah.
suits, actually, in that game. So I'm pretty sure they just didn't bother thinking about it. I mean, FPS logic, especially these days where everything is meant to flow quickly, and fuck logic. FPS logic is bonkers.
Yeah, it's like that one GIF we've all seen where it's the guy firing like an Uzi at the other player, and the other guy just walks up nonchalantly with a knife and cuts him once, and he's dead.
Oh, so he's Kirito. Okay.
No, I don't like Doritos.
Anyway, once you become a Spectre, you can get specific items from this shop in particular, and they're not necessarily items that you can get from the requisitions officer on board your ship. So I recommend coming here every now and again.
Yeah, this is where I always found the best armor in the game.
One of the things that I should mention, though, is that there's a specific set of armor and weapons, and another specific set of armor and weapons that are unlocked by getting certain achievements. You see those HMWPs at the top there? Yeah, those are it. And they're like the best weapons in the game, except for the other set of HMWPs that are marked with a 10 instead of a 7. Those are the best weapons in the game. So basically, in the endgame, assuming that you've got the achievements needed to unlock them, you're going to be outfitting everyone with that.
The hell's best?
Better than the best, but best compared to the best.
I don't know about that Best Buy, but the Best Buy next door.
But where's my Excalibur 2?
Is there
Yeah,
is there if there's a Best Buy, would this be even better buy?
Yeah, this is even better buy, bestest buy, and just buy. Because we're that good.
Since it was on screen about a nanosecond ago, I should mention that sniper rifles are pretty much useless at the beginning of the game because of the way this game handles aiming. Basically, you no matter what gun you're using, if you don't have the particular skill setting for it in your character build, you won't be able to aim for shit with it no matter what you do. You can't even use the scope of a sniper rifle unless you have the sniper rifle talent. But
What, they didn't figure out to put their face to the the viewfinder?
yeah, you basically have to fire from the hip. You can't use the aim button with a sniper rifle unless you have the sniper rifle
Why would you
talent.
fire from
What?
the hip with the sniper rifle?
360 no scopes.
That's like taking a chainsaw and throwing it at someone.
No. That's 360 no aim. And just hope for the best.
Yeah, the thing with it though is that unless you level up that talent to a particularly high level, your aiming is still going to be spotty. With the other guns, it mostly manifests as your gunfire going kind of awkwardly into the target circle instead of straight to the center of it. With the sniper rifle though, you basically suffer Metal Gear Solid 1 sniper syndrome, except you don't have a drug to steady your aim with. So, yeah, that was fun. It's basically why I don't play snipers in this game. You have to get halfway through the game before it starts to become entertaining.
Is that Billy West? Jilly sounds like Billy West.
It might be. Then again, it might not be. The Volus have pretty thick voice filters going on.
Is there something I can do? Talk to your friend, maybe?
He sounds adorable. I want one.
The Volus are the most hilarious thing in the Mass Effect universe, but we won't find out why until Mass Effect 2, when we meet the Great Wind.
Okay, I'm not sure I want one anymore with the name like that.
Oh, man.
No, apparently it was Chris Postel.
He said he just wanted to
He was
talk.
a recurring voice actor in Mass Effect.
His name's
For
He's a
NPCs.
Solarian.
BioWare games tend to have that handful of voice actors who do like 5 or 6 different roles in every game ever.
Oh, like Atlas.
The keepers?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, except it's not as tied to the general anime voice acting community, I don't think.
Yeah, there probably is a wider variety of voices in something like BioWare, if only just because there's so many characters you can't use the same 10 people. But
Yeah.
I don't know. The Simpsons do that.
well,
Well,
true.
it's not as jarring in The Simpsons because that's so cartoony. You don't expect the voices to be realistic. But in something like Oblivion, when you start hearing the same guy who did Raziel and Legacy of Kain out of every other fucking goddamn NPC, then it becomes a problem. Because you've got a recognizable voice coming out of every other character.
I think it just depends on how talented the voice actor or actress is. That you can mask your voice.
Well, it's not like Michael Bell is untalented by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, there's only so many voices one man can do, you know? Like,
Yeah, it's just that, and it's not just Michael Bell specifically in that game. There are basically every NPC in the entire game world has a voice in Oblivion. The first time they did that in that series, but they didn't have enough voice actors to mix it up enough that many voices made sense.
But if you have someone that's especially gifted with voice acting, you'd be
yeah.
surprised. I mean, to me, the one standard I always go to is Mel Blanc of Looney Tunes fame. He was known as the guy with 1,000 voices for a reason. Because,
Oh, you mean everyone?
Yeah, he was pretty much everyone. And you know
Yeah.
what? I didn't find out until like after the fact, years later, that it was all Mel Blanc.
The problem with the sheer number of voices that Oblivion needed to do, though, is that there are too many of them to dump that many of them on one particular talented actor.
Do you really need to risk her?
Should have got Mel Blanc.
Yeah, that would take too long. So, they have to spread them out across their actors, if only to make their deadlines, you know?
Maybe there's a way we can help each other.
Shepard's in sick today, so we got Charles Martinet.
Part of the job.
We gotta stop the Reapers! Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Another way.
Isn't Charles Martinet one of the dragons in Skyrim?
Yeah.
He is.
This is one of my favorite moments in the entire goddamn trilogy. Simply because, okay, this detective's trying to strong-arm you into helping him with his case by not getting this teenage girl out of a double agent role until you help solve that same case. Well, you can say, okay, I'm not putting up with this bullshit, and tell him to get her out. And then when he folds, you can say, okay, now we'll talk. What did you want me to do?
So he's tracking down illegal operations here, but he needs some of their product for, investigation. Just to make sure.
Well, yeah, it's a weapon. It's a weapon smuggling operation specifically.
Oh,
So
I thought it was the other thing.
no.
Sorry.
You're sniffing a little of that gunpowder there, John.
It's really good.
But yeah, and I just like that because most RPGs, basically, you get to this point in a side quest where what you're trying to do is something else, but someone wants you to do something so that they'll do that something for you. But you can just say, no, fuck that. You fold first, then maybe I'll think about helping you.
It's actually kind of an interesting thing, though, because there are some games where you get 2 side quests, and you get to pick one depending on, like, a moral choice or whatever, and you can only ever do that one side quest. And here, you can make one choice, but it doesn't cut you out from the detective side quest, if you were interested in that, you know?
Yeah.
Which is pretty neat.
You know, I like the way Mass Effect 1 tries to handle its side quests. I say tries because it's not always successful, but I do like having options like, okay, I can be a complete dick and get this guy killed to get through a certain plot area later in the game, or I can be a really, saint-like angel and do this other thing to help the internal investigations woman get her job done and then get a garage pass from her. Or I could blackmail someone into helping the internal investigations.
One question I wanted to ask. Like, does Mass Effect have what's categorized as 100% completion?
Yes, in the sense that
Here you go.
the game gives you an achievement for completing a majority of its side quests.
Because is it like 'cause the only example I can think of immediately is, in Final Fantasy X-2, you can either join with the new Yevon faith, or you can join with what was the name of the other ones?
Is there something you want?
The Youth League.
The Youth League, yeah. You couldn't get 100% choosing the new Yevon side. You had to go to Youth League to get 100%, which I always thought was a dick move.
That's dumb. Final Fantasy X-2 is dumb. News at 11. The
No, 10-2.
The thing about
I get it. Sorry.
No, there's nothing like that. Nothing that affects the story. Only achievements. Like, you need to complete the game basically 3 times to get all of these achievements, because 6 of the achievements are complete the majority of the game's quests with this person in your party, and there are like 6 party members, so you have to do it a minimum of 3 times to get all of them, which is dumb, and I'm glad I'll never have to do that again.
There's no percentage checker in Mass Effect that's like, oh, you've completed 100% of quests in the Citadel or anything, so...
Yeah, and it doesn't affect the story by any stretch. Individual quests and the choices that you make during them can affect your save file in the next game. The degree to which they do varies vastly from quest to quest, and some things that you hope will be important are just window dressing by the time the 3rd game happens, like the Council. But, they don't... The actual rate of completion does not have a functional effect on the gameplay.
If you'll just continue gathering data for me, imagine what we might learn.
And we just completely talked past the entire side story that went on with the keeper scanning thing. But basically, the 2 scientists who invented the scanner were having a bit of a tiff, and you had to resolve it. This is the point where you can say, okay, I'm not going to help you out anymore. You're assholes. But if you do that, then you don't get to continue scanning the keepers, and you won't get the extra bits of money. I should mention about the side quests in this game. It might be more profitable to leave basically everything that I'm doing right now off until later in the game, because the way that the game awards money and experience scales up as you go through the game. So basically, the higher the level you're at, the more you're going to get, which is a concession toward the New Game Plus mode that the game has.
Oh, so it's based off your level and not your story completion. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But New Game Plus in Mass Effect is basically just exists to give you a reason to play the Insanity difficulty mode, because you get to keep your stats, but that's about all you get to... That's about the only thing that you get to keep your stats. I think maybe your items. I'm not sure. I haven't bothered with it.
You definitely keep your items. Because I remember I have plenty of save files where I would start off a New Game Plus with the best armor, the best weapons in the game, and then I'd go through Eden Prime and just like one-shot everything, and it was amazing.
Yeah, you could probably do that with just mid-game weapons, actually. But the thing about New Game Plus in this game is that you don't actually get to hit the game's level cap until you completed the game at least once. The level cap for Mass Effect 1 is 60, but the game will stop you at 50 on your first time through, which is kind of pointless because there aren't enough experience points in the game to get you all the way to 60 anyway.
Wait, really?
So... Yeah. BioWare games tend to have finite resources, so if you want to get to a maximum level, you actually have to play the game at least 3 times. Here's the thing. It takes so much experience to get from level 50 to 60 that you'll just barely hit 59 by the end of your second playthrough. The entire third playthrough is getting from 59 to 60.
Yeah, that's bragging rights at that point. So.
Well... There is a slight benefit. When you import your save file...
You get the true ending.
No, when you import your save file into Mass Effect 2, you get an experience bonus that can knock you up from level 1 to 5 at the very start of the game, which is a significant bonus in that game because Mass Effect 2 caps you off at level 30 instead, so it's a fair chunk of level progression right there, like 5 missions worth.
But wouldn't that make the beginning of the game really easy?
If you grinded your ass off to get to 60 in the first game, I think you've earned it.
Not really, because Mass Effects 2 and 3 don't make levels as much of a stat boost as they do in this game. It's more about getting skill points to increase the number of skills you have and how effective they are. That's all the levels do.
Okay.
Mass Effect 2 to 3 save importing is a hell of a lot better, though, because you get to start at the level you ended Mass Effect 2 at, and Mass Effect 3 once more raises the cap to 60. So, that is a nice import bonus. I applaud that. It's not like there was an explosion at the beginning of the game and you lost all your crap, just your weapons.
Yeah, but I mean, like, who really uses the grapple beam anyway? You know, as soon as you get the space jump, it's useless.
Anyway, we are now having a conversation with the same exact computer graphic that we're going to see in every single location in the game from now to the end of it.
Commander, you do realize we're talking to a wall.
Yeah. The thing is, this is an artificial intelligence that someone programmed to cheat gambling machines out of money. And, well, actually, no. This is an AI built by another AI that someone built for that purpose. So it's kind of convoluted, but the AI that was stealing money from the gambling terminal created another AI so that AI would survive when the first AI was deleted, and this AI just wants to get himself a ship so that he can get off the station because he's sort of a computer that's stuck in a wall. That's a sad existence, but there's no way you can actually end this peacefully, because the computer just won't fucking give you the chance. He doesn't believe you when you say that you want to.
Did someone really want to win at Let's Make a Deal that badly?
I would have liked if it was a bit of a smartass. Like, one of the questions you can ask is, what's the purpose of the self-destruct? You know, just like if you said, to blow up.
But yeah, he arranged his circuitry so that he could self-destruct if discovered purely out of spite. The thing about society at this point in time in Mass Effect is that artificial intelligence is illegal, mainly because the last goddamn civilization to make something that became an artificial intelligence lost their entire homeworld in a war against it. It didn't end well. Those are the Quarians, and the AI in question are the Geth, the main bad guys of this game. So, yeah, you can sort of see why that law is in place.
But did they become batteries?
A bomb is a game of Simon.
Unfortunately, this is a just guess at it until you win minigame. I don't know if it's any different on the
Press
PC.
every button.
Do 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 do.
You know better than Homer Simpson deactivating the nuclear meltdown.
I don't know if that's any better on the PC, because the PC changes all of the quick-timey locking mini games to be something else, something more interesting, to be honest. But on the console, all you get is standard QuickTime events.
Just keep guessing until you get it.
Yeah.